Happy Purple Monday and happy Memorial Day. Rockies starting a 4-game series with the Dodgers here at Coors Field, an NL West matchup for you. Rockies still struggling a little bit at home. They have lost now 2 of 3 to the Phillies. Now they'll be starting their series against Clayton Kershaw and the Dodgers. Kershaw on the hill today will be facing Chichi Gonzalez for the Rockies. 10th start of the year, 1-4 is his record, a 5.68 ERA. 44 in the third innings pitched, 31 strikeouts, only 10 walks, that's very good. 52 hits allowed and a 140 whip. A couple of rough outings in a row for Chichi Gonzalez. He'll be looking to get back on track today. Gavin Lux, second baseman, will lead things off for LA. First time the Dodgers have come to Coors Field here in 2020. Rockies were in LA. Nearly swept the Dodgers, took 2 of 3 in that series. Bit of an odd-looking lineup today for the Rockies. A lot of lefties in there. A lot of righties in there. Trevor Story, however, is getting a day off today. He's been struggling a little bit as of late. Just swinging a high fly ball towards center field. Going back on this one is Dahl. He's got it in range. He'll make the catch in front of the track, and that's out number 1. Let's look at the whole lineup for the Dodgers after the second baseman Lux, batting second shortstop Corey Seager, batting third in left field Mookie Betts. Batting clean up the right fielder Cody Bellinger, batting 5th at first base Max Muncy. Kike Hernandez, center fielder, bats 6th, batting 7th, catching Austin Barnes. Zach McKinstry, the third baseman, bats 8th, and then Clayton Kershaw, starting pitcher, is the number 9 batter. Here's Corey Seager, 333 overall on the year, 9 homers, 35 driven in. Had a really good month of April, hit 372. May has certainly not been poor by any stretch, still hitting 333, but maybe cooling off just a little bit from the otherworldly start he got off to. First pitch from Chichi Gonzalez is swung on and fouled out of play. 71 degrees under partly to mostly cloudy skies here at Coors Field today. Be a few showers or thunder showers in the vicinity today. Not expecting those to amount to much. A 1 pitch is swung on and skied towards center field. Another chance for Dahl. He's coming in hard and he'll get there. And he'll make the catch. 2 away. Dahl handles both outs.
Batting third, the left fielder,
Mookie Betts will be the batter. 2 for his last 14 at the plate. It's still a bit of a rough start to his time in blue Dodger uniform. 226, 4 home runs, 21 driven in. Definitely not the perennial MVP candidate, perennial all-star that Mookie Betts made himself to be with the Boston Red Sox. Still just getting acclimated a little bit. First pitch is just a little bit low, ball 1. In terms of the Rockies starting rotation, that's where a lot of the struggles have been in their recent stretch where they've lost. They did have that 10-game losing streak, then things went a little better for them in their last 3 series. 1-0 pitch is in there for a called strike. German Marquez is down at AAA in our simulation, was optioned after really struggling. He's been quite good. 4 appearances at AAA. 3 of them are relief appearances, then he finally started yesterday, went 7 innings, struck out 9, allowed 1 run. His ERA is at 0.59 overall. So it's sounding like the Rockies are interested in bringing him back up, as there's a lot of, at least 3 other members of the rotation, Chichi Gonzalez, Antonio Senzatella, and John Gray, that are also struggling quite a bit. So Marquez looks like he will make his return. He would be in line to start on Friday, the first game of the series in San Francisco for the Rockies. So after this 4-game set against the Dodgers here at Coors Field, looks like we'll see Marquez return. And San Francisco's a pretty comfortable place for him. Some of Marquez's best outings have come in San Francisco at Oracle Park. 2-2 pitch to Betts is swung on and fouled out of play. It'll be seen who goes down. Ryan Castellani looked much better in his second outing than in his first just a couple days ago. 2-2 pitch is swung on and fouled back. John Gray has really been struggling. Same for Antonio Senzatella, and Chichi Gonzalez in need of a good start today. Senzatella's last start was pretty good. Kyle Freeland got roughed up yesterday, but that was about the only time we've been able to say that about him this year. He's been so good. I must say, if there were to be a must-win game right now, a game 163, Kyle Freeland would certainly seem to be who would likely get to take the hill. 2-2 pitch to Betts is swung on and lined towards right field. Diving and coming up with it is Blackmon. What a catch! Charlie Blackmon keeps the Dodgers out of the hit column, and we go to the bottom of the first. Rockies will try to score first. Clayton Kershaw made one start against the Rockies this year, nearly went the complete game. This is his 11th start overall, 4-2 his record, 3.22 ERA, 64 in a third innings pitch, 64 strikeouts to 11 walks. It's a very good ratio, 65 hits, 118 whip, another solid campaign for Clayton Kershaw. And David Dahl will be the leadoff batter, 268 on the year, 6 homers, 20 runs batted in for the Rockies center fielder. Lefty on lefty matchup will start things off for the Dodgers and Rockies in the bottom of the first. Which is called a strike on the outside corner. Dodgers are 27-24, that's second place in the NL West. Padres have really been performing well. They're 10 games above the 500 mark to start this season. Oh, to Dahl. That one is taken outside. That was a very similar location to the first offering. Kershaw seems a bit unhappy that one did not get called a strike. Dahl was a bit unhappy that the first pitch got called a strike. Certainly looked off the plate both times to me. Here's a 1-1. That swung on and chopped foul breaking ball. Dahl gets a piece. Yeah, 2 games. 1 in that 3-game series in LA for the Rockies. Dahl swings and skies one towards center field. This one's hit fairly well. Hernandez is going back. He's at the track, and he will make the catch right in front of the wall. It's a heck of a play. Starting lineup for the Rockies after the center fielder Dahl. Batting second at second base is Chris Owings. Batting third, the right fielder Charlie Blackmon. Nolan Arenado batting fourth. He's cleaning up and playing third base. Batting fifth, the first baseman Ryan McMahon today. Batting sixth in left field, Ian Desmond. Batting seventh, catching Elias Diaz. Batting eighth in shortstop today is Garrett Hampson. Then Chichi Gonzalez, pitcher, bats ninth. Chris Owings batting second, playing second today. McMahon shifting over to first base. Daniel Murphy getting a bit of a day off against a tough lefty. First pitch is a strike at the knees to Chris Owings. Murphy has hit about 300 or a little better against righties this year, has not hit well against lefties at all. We might be starting to see more of a platoon at first base, I think, between Chris Owings and Daniel Murphy. Or rather, McMahon will shift to first base and Owings will play second against lefties. McMahon, of course, reverse splits, hits better against lefties than he does against righties. The 0-2 to Owings is taken in the dirt. Does not get Owings to chase that curveball, does Kershaw. Swing and a miss. He had him on strikes. 2 away. So our next Sim Game broadcast for you will be Friday, May 29th at 8:15 p.m. Mountain Time. Rockies head to San Francisco, or perhaps if the Rockies are in line to sweep this 4-game series, May 28th, this Thursday at 1:15 Mountain Time, we will broadcast. But again, that's only if the Rockies win the first 3, and that all starts with today. Charlie Blackmon bats, takes first pitch strike. Lots of righties in the lineup for the Rockies today. Still Dahl, Blackmon, and McMahon in there. Lefties. But that is about it. The 0-1. Is taken low and away. Sam Hilliard getting the day off. He's getting in there a lot now against right-handed pitching, not so much against lefties. Ian Desmond's playing left today. And Trevor Story just getting the day off as he's in a bit of a slump. Garrett Hampson will get some action at shortstop today as Blackmon swings and misses. Elias Diaz catching. Tony Wolters is not against the lefty. 1-2 pitch is swung on and skied towards left field. This is a long run for Betts, and he will get there. Those long strides, and that'll retire the side. After an inning of play, we're scoreless. Rockies and Dodgers, Bellinger, Muncy, and Hernandez due up for LA. Cody Bellinger, 217 on the year, 327 on base percentage, still hitting for power, 14 homers, 40 driven in. It's not what we've been used to seeing from him from the batting average standpoint. Pitch misses inside. You can see a pull shift on for Bellinger. Second baseman Owings is playing in shallow right field. Shortstop Hampson right behind the second base bag. Arenado shifted towards the shortstop position. There's a pitch outside, 2-0. The 2-0. It's going to miss inside 3-0. Max Muncy waiting on deck. This is Ben Kuchnerkevich along with you, part of Purple Row. In our season simulation, want to let you know we're not affiliated with Major League Baseball, MLB The Show 20, or the Colorado Rockies. Pitch misses, and that's a 4-pitch walk to lead off the top of the second to Cody Bellinger. And that'll bring up Rockies killer Max Muncy, first baseman today. Muncy, very good year. 321, 10 homers, 27 driven in. Very good 942 OPS for him. On base percentage plus slugging percentage equals OPS. Throw over to first to drive back Bellinger. Has good speed. First pitch from Gonzalez is taken just a bit outside. 5 straight misses to kick off the second inning for Chichi Gonzalez. Dodgers lineup in which you cannot afford to give a whole lot of base runners to. There's a pitch low and away. 6 straight misses now for Chichi Gonzalez. And 20th pitch of the day is swung on and skied foul. That's going to go out of play towards the seats. Once again, want to wish a happy Memorial Day to you and thank you to all of those who have served our country. We remember them on this day. 2-1 pitch is swung on and missed. Two-two pitch, swung on and chopped foul. Well, we should start to know any time now about further plans to resume the season, or if they're real-life baseball, or if there are some snags in those talks between Major League Baseball and the MLBPA. As it sounded like sometime in June they want to get a 3-week start and then start going at it regular season games in July. Swinging a foul back. Muncy stays alive. So time is running out. We definitely need to be hearing something soon. 2-2 pitch coming to Muncy is inside and hit him, and a couple runners on. First 2 aboard, a walk and a hit by pitch for Chichi Gonzalez here in the second. And Kike Hernandez will be the batter. Hernandez, 292 on the year, no homers, 2 driven in. Gets most of his playing time against left-handed pitching. Is in there today, though. Jock Peterson getting the day off. First pitch is taken for a strike. Really nice running catch in the bottom of the first inning for Hernandez to get David Dahl, who flied one to deep center field. The 0-1 is swung on and fouled out of play. Quickly 0-2 on Kike Hernandez. And swung on and lifted in the air towards shallow center field. Coming in and hard on this one is Dahl. He's going to dive, and he's not able to get there. Runners had to hold up, and no one will be able to score on this play, but the bases are loaded now with nobody out for the Dodgers. Dahl did not react well initially, and then had to make up a lot of ground and was not able to get there. Tried to dive for it, but it went in and out of his glove. Game of inches, as they say. And bases loaded, nobody out now. First pitch high and away to the catcher, Austin Barnes. Tough situation early on here for Chichi Gonzalez to try and work out of. The 1-0 is swung on and missed. And swinging a foul out of play. 1-2 the count. Double play would be huge here. Rockies would certainly trade a run for a couple of outs. a strikeout, and then a double play in the next at bat certainly wouldn't hurt either. Swinging a foul back to the screen. We'll do it again. Pitch count starting to increase for Chichi Gonzalez. Up over 30 here in the second inning. Still nobody out. There's a swing and a line drive towards center field. Dahl camping under. He'll make the catch. Bellinger tags, and he will come across to score. Sac fly for Austin Barnes, and the Dodgers take a 1-0 lead. But run for an out for the Rockies. They'll take that. And Zach McKinstry will be the batter, third baseman today for the Dodgers. First pitch misses high. McKinstry, first year in the majors, got the call up in our simulation. Swing and a miss, 1 ball, 1 strike. McKinstry began 2019 with the Tulsa Drillers. He was known as a slap hitter, but started to hit for a little bit of power last year in AAA. Of course, some of that may have to do with the manufactured baseball. Ground ball hit to second base. Owings flips the short way one back to first, and double play. It could have been a lot worse for the Rockies. Only 1 run across for the Dodgers. They lead at 1-0 going to the bottom of the second. Arenado, McMahon, and Desmond due up. Nolan Arenado, Rockies' third baseman, leads off the bottom of the second. 318, 14 homers, 39 runs batted in. That's tied for third place in the National League. Very solid 391 on base percentage for him as well. And he will get to face a lefty. Arenado feasts on lefties. Don't care if his name is Clayton Kershaw or whoever he is. Arenado can still hit them quite well. First pitch is a strike. One 1-0 Dodgers after the Austin Barnes sac fly. Scored Cody Bellinger in the top of the second. There's a strike on the inside part of the inside corner. And it's quickly 0-2 on Arenado. Not so sure about that call. And the 0-2 pitch. Swung on and pulled towards left. That looks like it's going to hook, and it will go foul to the seats. And the 0-2 once more is swung on and fouled back. Arenado staying alive. Not a comfortable place to be, 0-2 against Clayton Kershaw. Swung on and pulled foul. Arenado is doing his best to stay on Kershaw's 0-2 pitches. A few of them fouled off now. And here comes another. Swing and a miss. He got him on strikes. That's out number 1. And that'll bring up Ryan McMahon. Hits lefties well. Kershaw shakes once, gets the sign he likes into his motion windup, and first pitch to McMahon is in there for a called strike. McMahon, 13 home runs. That ranks third on the Rockies. Trevor Story, I believe it was Trevor Story who passed him. Nolan Arenado has the team lead. The swing and a line drive pulled foul. Arenado and Story both with 14 home runs now. Story getting the day off today. 0-2 count on Ryan McMahon. Here's the pitch from Kershaw. It's taken high, ball 1. It's going to miss in the dirt. Count evens at 2. Kershaw kicks and fires. And that one's low. So from 0-2, McMahon has worked the count full with Ian Desmond waiting on deck. Swinging a foul out of play. We'll do it again. Should be at least a 6-7 pitch plate appearance for Ryan McMahon. And swung on and ripped to deep right field. That ball is gone. Home run for Ryan McMahon off Clayton Kershaw. There's number 14 for him. Moves back into that tie for first on the team. We're tied at 1. How about Ryan McMahon and his ability to hit left-handed pitching, including Clayton Kershaw? Take a look at the StatCast numbers on this one. Exit velocity of 111.3 miles per hour. Launch angle 26.34 degrees. Hang time a little over 5 seconds. And a whopping 497 feet off the bat of McMahon. Wow. Ian Desmond will be the batter now. Just like that, we're tied at 1. First pitch is in there for a called strike. Desmond batting .240 on the year, .308 his on-base percentage, 5 homers, 15 runs batted in. Hit a home run in a pinch hit appearance in Game 1 of this homestand against the Phillies. There's a line drive on a hop for the shortstop Seager, fires to first, and that's going to be out number 2. Coming up in the third inning, we will bring you the latest on where things are between Major League Baseball and the Union in their talks. Craig Calcaterra of NBC Sports had the info on that. We'll bring that to you in the third. Elias Diaz, .303 on the year, a homer, and 5 runs batted in for him. First pitch is in there for a called strike. Diaz getting a lot of playing time against left-handed pitchers. So swing and a miss, looked uncomfortable there, and it's quickly 0-2 on Diaz. Diaz got hurt running the bases, trying to break up a double play. Had an arm injury back in that series in LA. Hopefully better results against the Dodgers for him here. And the 0-2 is strike 3 called in the inside corner. Diaz goes down on strikes. But Ryan McMahon has tied up this game with a big fly 497 feet later. We're tied at 1, going to the third. Clayton Kershaw, very good hitting pitcher, .286 on the year, 1 RBI. And he leads off this top of the third inning against Chichi Gonzalez. Kershaw had a few hits in his start against the Rockies in LA. So according to Craig Calcaterra of NBC Sports, things are getting tense between Major League Baseball and the Union right now. And things, he writes, have not been great. They've not been on great terms for some time, but things seem to be deteriorating even further. So here's where, we'll talk about it after the 0-2 pitch to Kershaw, where we have gotten to this point. We're swinging a high fly ball, shallow left field. Desmond coming in, he'll make the catch for out number 1. March 26 was when MLB and the MLBPA reached a general agreement about how to handle a 2020 baseball season. If you look at the standings, Rockies 8.5 back in the NL West. Padres have a 2.5 game lead on the Dodgers. As far as money goes, there was an agreement that players would be paid on a prorated basis, but there's a clause in the agreement, and it stipulates that the sides would negotiate in good faith about the economic feasibility of playing a season without fans if that was necessary, and it does appear to be necessary. The thing is, there's a lot of disagreement about what that good faith negotiation really means, as Lux lines one right to the glove of the second baseman Owings for out number 2. A few weeks ago, as Corey Seager is the batter, MLB began to make it public via leaks to reporters that it expected the players to make financial concessions, preferably in the form of a 50-50 revenue split instead of paying prorated salaries. The players made it clear that they would not accept that if it were proposed. Owen pitch to Seager is taken high, ball 1. Swung on and fouled out of play. So May 13, the Union nonetheless requested that the league provide it with financial documentation to justify any financial concessions it expects the players to make. Under the collective bargaining agreement, there is a right for the MLBPA to make such a demand. Ground ball to first. Good inning for Chichi Gonzalez. Quick 1-2-3 inning. And we go to the bottom of the third. Rockies trying for more. They have their 9-1 891 hitters due up. We'll talk more about MLB and MLBPA's negotiations when we return. Garrett Hampson, 167 on the year, 2 homers, 5 driven in. Hasn't gotten a whole lot of playing time. In there against the lefty Kershaw today. Spelling Trevor Story at shortstop for a spell. Laying down a bunt, and it goes foul for Hampson. Hampson, I believe it was 2018 now when he was a call-up, had a really good game against Clayton Kershaw. Just worked an incredible plate appearance for a walk. There's a drive towards the gap in left center field. This ball is deep, and that ball is going to be off the wall. And one hop over the wall. Ground rule double for Garrett Hampson, leading things off here in the bottom of the third. That's his first double of the season. Already had a couple home runs and a triple. Some singles. First double of the year for Hampson. He's in all of the categories now. And that's a good way to get things started here in the bottom of the third. We'll see what they elect to do with Chichi Gonzalez, if he's going to lay down a bunt here with nobody out, runner on second, or if they'll elect to have him swing away. He's showing bunt, and the bunt is foul. So since then, ever since May 13, there's been a steady stream of leaks from the MLB side of things to MLB-friendly reporters that have attempted to push the case that the players are not merely obligated to negotiate with the league, but they are somehow locked into making certain concessions. There's a strike as Chichi Gonzalez misses at the bunt. We'll see if they take it off now. The most notable of these leaks was a couple days ago. Joel Sherman of the New York Post was given some internal emails from Major League Baseball, which his sources attempted to portray as some kind of smoking gun, is how he described it. There's a bunt towards third. Picking it up is McKinstry, and not sure what happened there. I want to remind you that no one is playing this. This is the simulation. So, I mean, I've certainly had a few of those when I've been playing the show, but I've never seen that before. And McKinstry not sure what to do with it. So, I don't know. He's a natural infielder, so I'm not sure what happened there. Anyway, a couple runners on, nobody out now for the Rockies. David Dahl, the batter, takes first pitch strike. So, yeah, referred to as a smoking gun by Joel Sherman. And that committed the players to do something for tons of reasons, both legal and practical, some of which that you can read in this article from Craig Calcaterra of NBC Sports. That doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. Lost in the noise is the fact that Major League Baseball has not yet made a financial proposal to or demand of the players yet. All fouls are out of play. And this was an article from, I believe, Thursday now from Craig of NBC Sports. That as of that time, there's been no demand on the table. All takes one low and away. One away, count evens at 2. And swung on and lined towards right field on the run, and getting there to make the catch is Bellinger. Hampson will tag and move up to third. And runners on the corners with one out now for the Rockies. So what Craig Calcaterra says is that since there is no real demand on the table, all of the demands in the press that the players compromise demands the players bid against themselves. And there is also a report from John Heyman that said Players Union in internal memo says it is livid over so-called smoking gun MLB email becoming public in New York Post and is an attempt by MLB at railroading players. Union memo also noted it requested paperwork from MLB. It is yet to receive March 13, so tension persists. So, that is also a leak, and Craig concedes that it's not just Major League Baseball is talking to the press about this, it is the union as well. But it certainly does establish there is tension between the two sides. 1-0 pitch to Owings is swung on and pulled foul. But Calcaterra writes, and this is the scary part here, there's going to be an extraordinarily difficult task of coming to an agreement to play a season under these circumstances. There's a foul out of play. And it appears Major League Baseball is on a campaign of trying to negotiate via the media before it even makes a presentation to the players, and before it even gives the players the information they have requested in order to assess any such presentations. That makes things even harder. Owing swings skies one towards left center field. On the run for this one is Betts. He'll get there and make the catch. Hampson tagging. He will come across to score, and the Rockies take a 2-1 lead. RBI sac fly for Chris Owings. And the Rockies are on top against Clayton Kershaw for the first time in this ballgame. Charlie Blackmon, the batter, 0 for 1. He flied out his first time up, just back in the first inning. 301 on the year, 367 his on-base percentage, 575 slugging percentage. Blackmon keeps on trucking, no matter how far he gets into his Rockies career. First pitch from Kershaw is taken for a strike. It's Charlie Blackmon. We can see he has some fans out there in the outfield, in the bleachers. Kershaw from the stretch, and he really does do a stretch with his arms. There's the pitch, and it's swung on and missed. Quickly 0-2 on Blackmon. That one's going to miss, low, ball 1. Kershaw shakes, then he comes set, gets the sign he likes from Barnes. Looks towards first base, and the 1-2 is swung on and cued towards first base. Muncy will take it himself, and that'll retire the side. Rockies take a 2-1 lead thanks in part to the speed of Garrett Hampson. It's a sac fly for Chris Owings. Betts, Bellinger, and Muncy due up in the 4th for L.A. Mookie Betts leads off the 4th inning. Chichi Gonzalez will try for an inning as good as his 3rd. Retired the side in order quite quickly. First pitch misses inside to Betts. So Ken Rosenthal of The Athletic had an article, how some team execs would change MLB's proposed safety protocols. One president of baseball operations said that it was way over the top. There's a 67-page draft on health and safety for the 2020 season. My understanding is that players are pretty interested in there being a lot of stipulations here to keep them safe. But the executive said that document is going to look way different after feedback from teams, the Players Association, and the players. There's a strike, 3-1 now on Betts. The procedures are subject to union approval. Of course, all 30 clubs received the document last Friday and are expected to submit feedback. Well, they are expected to have done so already, really. Draft is also sent to governors and other officials in every state where major league teams must play. Unlike the players, the clubs cannot nix specific provisions, but before making its final presentation to the union, the league expects to incorporate a variety of ideas on how to keep the game as safe as possible. Betts strikes out. There's one away. Local governments, we're talking state, county, city, depending upon the area, will have their say on how to best operate during the COVID-19 pandemic. And before play can begin, the league must also agree with the union on the economics, which we talked about a little bit in the 3rd. Cody Bellinger walked and scored a run his first time up. This is down and in, ball 1. See a pull shift on. Chris Owings is in shallow right field once more for Bellinger. Swinging a chop foul. But all those 5 baseball operations leaders who talked to The Athletic said that they view this document as a first draft. Swinging a foul out of play. So here is some changes the executives might propose. Increased testing is one. The document calls for on-field personnel and essential personnel to be tested for the virus multiple times a week. Angels superstar Mike Trout said that he doesn't see them playing without testing every day. One of the executives agreed, saying, if the league cannot arrange for daily testing, maybe they won't be able to play yet. And Annie McCullough of The Athletic, as well as Mark Carrig, said experts agree that the most important element in avoiding an outbreak will be diagnostic testing. But daily testing might not be available until early July. That's when MLB intends to begin playing. It's a sensitive topic, the potential drain on public resources. League also trying to avoid criticism by paying to produce its own tests through the conversion of a lab in Utah it previously used for minor league drug testing. The league also promises to add to the public supply by making testing available to healthcare workers and first responders in each home city. Bellinger draws a walk. Another proposal here is greater consistency between the protocols when players are at their home facility and when they are away from the park. The players really pushed back against the Arizona plan that had all 30 teams playing under strict quarantine in the Phoenix area. We've talked about a whole bunch of different reasons for this, one of which being the heat and not necessarily the humidity, but still very hot. The preference right now is to start the season. The league's preference is to start as many home parks as possible. That gives players more freedom, but increases their risk of exposure to the virus. Players would face tight restrictions at the field, which one executive likened to a protective cocoon. Right now, prohibited under the plan would be spitting, high-fiving, and using smokeless tobacco or sunflower seeds. Social distancing, wearing masks except while on the field required. Away from the field, however, players essentially would be on their own, though there are some requirements for what they need to do. The document says that players need to avoid using any communal areas. That includes restaurants, bars, fitness centers, other health clubs. But whether it's spring training or during the regular season, they seemingly would be free to move around as they normally would, and teams would face little choice but to trust them to act responsibly. An executive said, "That's why you need an overabundance of testing. We should test a ton and then lighten some of the restrictions on the field." Pitch inside, count evens at 2. Another proposal, fewer restrictions on players at hotels. Players, again, face no restrictions away from the park at home, but they practically would be quarantined on the road. The document says members of the traveling party may not leave the club's hotel. Muncy's skies went towards fairly deep left field. Desmond's got it in range, though, makes the catch for out number 2. So the players may not leave the club's hotel, should not congregate in public areas of the hotel for any reason unless approved in advance by appropriate club personnel. There was an executive who said restricting players in such a fashion would be really difficult to accomplish, and teams should simply just encourage them to follow the same practices they do at the park, wearing masks, washing hands frequently, practicing social distancing. Kike Hernandez swings and fouls one back to the screen. Another proposal, permission for players to shower at the park. Right now, the league's document discourages showering at club facilities. That creates the possibility that players would leave the park in uniform as if they were back in Little League. The idea is apparently to prevent players from showering in close proximity to one another. One executive said it would be more logical for players to shower in shifts, like 3 at a time, depending on the size of the shower area. Hernandez strikes out, and that will retire the side. We go to the bottom of the 4th. It's 2-1 Rockies, and the 4, 5, 6 hitters are due up for Colorado. Rockies manager Bud Black talking things over with pitching coach Steve Foster. Chichi Gonzalez has pitched a solid ball game so far. Just gave up a run in the 2nd inning. Could have been much worse, though. The bases were loaded with nobody out for L.A. Nolan Arenado struck out against Clayton Kershaw his first time up. It's 2-1 Rockies here in the bottom of the 4th. 316, 389, 611 is Arenado's triple slash line on the year. First pitch from Kershaw is swung on and popped foul and out of play. We'll talk about some more ideas from executives on how to change the league's proposal for its safety protocols. Ken Rosenthal of The Athletic spoke to some executives who spoke under a condition of anonymity. 1-1 pitch from Kershaw to Arenado is taken inside corner. Arenado not so sure. Shaking his head a little bit. He hasn't gotten the benefit of a lot of calls today. Here's another proposal, allowing players to use hydrotherapy pools at club facilities. One executive suggested that prohibition would be far more problematic than a ban on showers. They said not having hot and cold therapy will be a problem for players. Arenado drives onto deep left field. Going back on this one is Betts looking up, and that ball is gone. Nolan Arenado taking the team lead in home runs, his 15th of the year. Doesn't want to remain too close to Ryan McMahon for the team lead. Rockies are up 3-1 now. Second home run of the day off of Clayton Kershaw for the Rockies. They've been struggling to get things going against opposing starters here at home, but I guess all they needed was to face Clayton Kershaw. Ryan McMahon homered his first time up, his 14th of the year. Arenado now with his 15th. First pitch to McMahon is taken for a strike on the outside corner. One executive said about the hydrotherapy, not having hot and cold therapy will be a problem for players. It's such an important part of their maintenance routine, they said. Pools are opening across the country. As McMahon pops one up, Barnes in foul territory right behind the plate makes the catch for out number 2. Out number 1, excuse me. So the CDC says there is no evidence that the virus spreads through water in pools, hot tubs, spas, or water play areas. Say proper operation and maintenance, including disinfection with chlorine and bromine, should kill the virus in the water. Hydrotherapy pools are usually chlorinated, and many of those pools at club facilities are large enough to accommodate several players at a time at safe distances from one another. So it sounds, according to the CDC, that Major League Baseball might be going a little too far with that one. We'll see, though. 1-0 pitch to Ian Desmond is a check swing, and that's a strike.
1-1.
And a final proposal, keeping indoor batting cages open. The league states a preference for teams to conduct as many pregame activities as possible outdoors, and they discourage the use of indoor cages when hitting outside as an option. When it gets hot, especially, not even in Arizona, we're talking about like Midwest and the mid-Atlantic states and the Northeast and Southeast as well, where it gets very humid, along with the heat. That could be it could be very appealing to have air-conditioned indoor cages, though you will have to play baseball in the heat and humidity. So maybe you'll just be prepared for that. Strike 3 called. Ian Desmond goes down and strikes. That is out number 2. Players could be able to sit in those comfortable chairs as they await their turn, sit off pitching machines. Teams could also move the machines outdoors, but, just like the showers and hydrotherapy pools we talked about, they also could enforce new standards by limiting the number of players in any one area at a given time. Those are just some of the ideas that Ken Rosenthal writes the clubs might propose. Each would be applicable league-wide. There also could be specific recommendations made by teams for their own parks. Government officials might further shape plans. But right now we're looking at that first draft, a 67-page proposal, but a living document is what it's being called. Pitch low and into Elias Diaz. It's a hitter's count on him. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. Swung on and grounded. Diving stop by McKinstry. This time he throws the baseball and got him. That'll retire the side. Nice play by Zach McKinstry. He looked a little indecisive on the previous play hit his way, that bunt. But we're through 4 innings now. Nolan Arenado homers. It's 3-1 Rockies. Austin Barnes leads off the 5th inning against Chichi Gonzalez. James Pazos, Tim Collins, a couple of lefties up in the Rockies bullpen. Austin Barnes responsible for the 1 run batted in on the day for LA. Sacrifice fly in the 2nd inning. First pitch here is taken for a strike. You can see Pazos and Collins, a couple of lefties up in the Rockies bullpen. 5th inning, so time to take a look at some scores around baseball. Nationals beat the Marlins 4-0. Steven Strasburg gets the win. Memorial Day baseball. That's a day game today. Strasburg actually had a complete game shutout, struck out 11. 5 hits. Braves beat the Cardinals 6-2. Felix Hernandez getting his 3rd win as a member of the Braves. Dakota Hudson with a loss is 5-3 for St. Louis. Felix Hernandez went 7 scoreless innings. Giants beat the Pirates 8-2. Drew Smiley with the win, 4-4 for San Francisco now. Swing and a miss. Chichi Gonzalez gets a strikeout. It's out number 1 here in the top of the 5th. Guillermo Heredia, hit his first home run as a member of the Pirates. 2-0 Reds beat the Padres. That's good news. Sonny Gray gets the win. 6th win of the year for him. And Garrett Richards of the loss is now 1-5 on the year.
1-1, no strike.
Sonny Gray went 7 innings, struck out 8, no runs allowed. Zach McKinstry, the batter, 1 for 6 to start his major league career. Struck out his first time up against Chichi Gonzalez. And that's in there for a called strike.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Check swing, and he went too far.
2 strikes.
Swinging a foul out of play. White Sox beat the Orioles 4-2 today. Reynaldo Lopez with the win. Joey Mendick with his 4th home run of the year. Jose Iglesias, number 5 for Baltimore. Yankees beat the Mariners 5-4 today. Tommy Kahnle, former Rocky, gets the win. Ground ball to second base. Owings throws to first. That's out number 2. Carl Edwards Jr., the loss, also in relief.
Up next for the Dodgers, the pitcher, Clayton Kershaw.
I believe that is a walk-off win for the Yankees. Rays really beat the Tigers today, 16-3. Blake Snell with the win, his 5th. Daniel Norris, the loss, goes down to 1-4 on the year. Manuel Margot hit 2 home runs, 3-4 on the year for Tampa Bay. Miguel Cabrera hit his 2nd home run of the year for the Tigers. A losing cause. Later this evening, Royals and Red Sox. Mike Montgomery against Hector Velasquez. A's and Astros AL West matchup later this evening as well. Mike Fiers pitched against his former team. Kershaw strikes out, and Chichi Gonzalez looked pretty good today. It's 3-1 Rockies going to the bottom of the 5th. Garrett Hampson doubled and scored the first run of the game for the Rockies his first time up.
Now shortstop,
2nd run of the game, McMahon's homer was the first run of the game. Nolan Arenado's homer the 3rd run of the game.
Ball, matchup.
Pitch is called a ball to Garrett Hampson. 3-1 Rockies against Clayton Kershaw here in the bottom of the 5th. It's always a good place to be. Don't always get to be in that place on top of Clayton Kershaw. Pitch outside 2-0. Kershaw's been a little bit frustrated with the strike zone today. What else is new? And that's a check swing, and that one's going to be called high. Chichi Gonzalez, starting pitcher, waiting on deck. We'll see if he comes out or if we get a pinch hitter. I think he's pitched well enough to get a 6th inning of work. Oh, man. That one, Hampson was about to head down to first base, but called a strike. 3-1 now. That was a 69th pitch of the day. Number 70 for Kershaw. That one is definitely inside, ball 4. And Hampson draws a leadoff walk.
the pitcher, number 50, Chichi Gonzalez.
Couple good plate appearances for Garrett Hampson today. Double and now a walk. And Chichi Gonzalez will bat for himself. 0 for 14 start to the year. Grounded out his first time up. That was in the 3rd inning. He's 0 for 1. Kershaw from the stretch. Showing bunt once more as Gonzalez lays it down towards first base. What a play by Max Muncy to flip behind his back to Kershaw covering. And that is a very good job to get the out at first base on the sacrifice bunt for Chichi Gonzalez. Hampson up to second. Ross Stripling and Pedro Baez both warming up in the Dodgers bullpen. David Dahl 0 for 2 on the day, fly out and a line out. First pitch is low, ball 1 to Dahl. Dahl hitting .308 on the year with runners in the scoring position. And that's called a ball as well. Kershaw is a beef with some of these calls in this inning. It's 2-0 now on Dahl. And that one is called a ball. 3-0. Chris Owings is waiting on deck. Kershaw trying to relax a little bit. His 3-0. Look to second base. 3-0 to Dahl. Is called strike that time.
Count it 3-1.
Kershaw comes set. Holds those arms high above his head. Stretches them up to the sky. Looks towards second base. And his 3-1 is swung on and missed. So from 3-0 now 3-2 full count on David Dahl. And the payoff pitch. Swung on and fouled out of play. Dahl stays alive. Kershaw has been paying attention to Hampson over there at second base. Hasn't thrown over, but he has certainly turned and given him a good look. He does so again. And a swing and a line drive towards right field. Right there is Bellinger to make the catch. Hampson tagged up, but he will stay put at second base. There, 2 away.
The second baseman.
Chris Owings will be the batter. He is 0 for 1, sac fly RBI. Gave the Rockies the lead. Garrett Hampson scored ahead of him. 3-1 Rockies against Clayton Kershaw here in the bottom of the 5th. This pitch to Owings is check swing strike.
0-1.
Owings batting .385 on the year with runners in scoring position. Very good numbers for today's second baseman for the Rockies. Swinging a line drive towards the gap in right center field. Going back on this one is Bellinger. He's looking up. That one's off the wall. Hampson will score. Owings will cruise into second base with an RBI double, and it's 4-1 Rockies. 6th double of the year for Chris Owings. That'll give Charlie Blackmon an opportunity. We saw action in the Dodgers bullpen. Stripling and Baez were warming up. Charlie Blackmon will once more bat against Clayton Kershaw at 80 pitches here at the bottom of the 5th. Haven't got used to seeing outings like this from Clayton Kershaw too often. Hasn't been terrible, but this is a bit of an unknown for Clayton Kershaw outside of the postseason at least. Blackmon 0 for 2, fly out and a ground out. / 299, 365, 572. That was tongue-in-cheek, my remark about the postseason. I get frustrated when people say Kershaw isn't a big game pitcher because he hasn't had good numbers in the postseason. I believe that's an unfair argument. Outside 2-0 on Blackmon. Though it certainly is true that Kershaw has saved some of his worst performances for the postseason, and it's kind of inexplicable why that has occurred. The 2-0 to Blackmon is in there for a called strike.
Count is 2-1.
Swung on and cued foul and out of play. Count evens at 2 on Blackmon. And just a bit inside, count goes full. Nolan Arenado waiting on deck. He has homered today, hoping to get another chance with a couple of runners aboard. Kershaw comes set. Payoff pitch. Swung on and fouled the other way. We'll do it again. and called a ball inside. 11 pitches for strikes, 11 have missed in this 22-pitch fifth inning for Clayton Kershaw. Nolan Arenado will get another opportunity, and that's going to be the end of the day for Clayton Kershaw. Has not been his day. He might have some words for the home plate umpire. He gives a look over there as he heads off, as he did not get the benefit of some calls today. Won't say anything, but go right back to the dugout. Jimmy Nelson will be the new pitcher, 20th game of the year, 29 2/3 innings, 21 strikeouts, 14 walks, 4.55 ERA for him. Former Milwaukee Brewer, had some really good years with them. Dave Roberts selects to make a pitching change for LA. Nolan Arenado, 1 for 2, solo home run in the fourth inning. His 40th RBI of the year. 4 2/3 innings only today for Clayton Kershaw. When's the last time we've been able to say that against when he's faced the Rockies? First pitch is loaded, Nolan Arenado. Arenado a whopping 380 with runners in scoring position this year. Homered against Clayton Kershaw earlier in this one. And there are a couple runners on that are still Kershaw's responsibility if Arenado can bring them home. There's a check swing and a strike. 1-1 now, 96-mile-an-hour fastball from Nelson. Nelson just having to deal with a lot of injuries towards the end of his career with the Brewers. Missed a lot of time and ended up being non-tendered at the deadline this offseason, then picked up by LA. There's a line drive, base hit into left field. Owings will be waved around third, and he will score. RBI single for Nolan Arenado makes it 5-1 Rockies. Another run charge to Clayton Kershaw. Look at RBI leaders in the league. See, Arenado was coming in with 39, but he's since gotten a couple more today. So he's in second place, trailing Christian Yelich, who had 42. Cody Bellinger has 40 also in this game. Arenado is typically on that leaderboard. Ryan McMahon, the batter, he takes first pitch strike. 1 for 2 home run in the second inning off Clayton Kershaw for Ryan McMahon. His slash on the year, 254, 335, 575. Lots of power for him in 2020. The 0-1 is check swing, and McMahon did not go high and away. McMahon only batting .222 with runners in scoring position. The batting average has not been the big part of Ryan McMahon's 2020 season, however. It's just been a lot of power. The strike called, looked like it was a little bit below the knees, 1 and 2. Not sure what's going on with his home plate umpire today. You like to say if they can't get the calls correct, at least be consistent, and certainly not all that consistent today behind the plate. And there's a pitch outside, count evens at 2. Dodgers, are they perhaps not as good of a team this year? The Rockies took 2 of 3 from them in LA. They're still comfortably in second place in the NL West. Padres 10 games above 500, a few games above for the Dodgers, but they were thinking with bringing in guys like Mookie Betts, David Price as part of the rotation, they would take an even further step forward, but it looks like a step back. So I'm going to foul out a play. Runners will be going with the count being full and 2 outs on McMahon. Swing and a miss. He got him on strikes. That'll retire the side. We're through 5. Some more runs across for the Rockies. And they lead at 5-1 going to the 6th. Top of the order due up for LA. Gavin Lux 0 for 2 line out and a fly out on the day. 239 on the year. 6 homers, 20 driven in. The rookie second baseman for the Dodgers. Played a little bit last year, but still maintains his rookie eligibility. We talked a little bit earlier, a couple innings ago, about that report of a smoking gun in the MLB labor fight. Our old friend Jesse Spector is now writing for Deadspin, and Deadspin has a little bit of a rejuvenation going on at their website. A strike. Quickly 0-2 on Lux. Jesse Spector, and Rockies fan, though he may be a Yankees fan. We can't really tell. Pitch outside, ball 1. He wrote an article for Deadspin about the labor fight Strike 3 called. He had him on strikes. Chichi Gonzalez in his 6th inning of work gets a strikeout of Lux to start things off.
The batter, the shortstop.
And Spector does not mince words with how he describes the situation here. He says the union rightfully is livid about MLB's blatant attempts at railroading players through the media, as MLBPA Senior Director of Collective Bargaining Bruce Meyer told Sherman, both sides, this is Joel Sherman of the New York Post who wrote that article about the smoking gun, both sides are free to make any additional proposals they want. If they have a proposal on economics, they should make it, as we've repeatedly invited them to do. We have the right to respond to it. Despite all their posturing, they still haven't done so. Rather than actually negotiating over these issues, the league is focusing on leaking self-serving internal memos to the media. A bit of a parallel is drawn here by Spector with the Premier League. They are setting up to start back up in June. Part of their plan is conducting hundreds of tests of players and staff. 6 people out of 748, including a Watford player and a Burnley assistant coach, tested positive for coronavirus. And the Daily Mail declared it as some good news. Daily Mail is not a reputable news source, by the way. I know it. I'm not trying to, anyway, that's my feelings on the Daily Mail. But Spector writes, the idea that 6 positive tests represent an encouraging sign for the resumption of English soccer season is absolutely bizarre. 2 months ago might feel like 2 decades ago, but the world of sports basically shut down after 1 positive test for a player. That was Rudy Gobert of the Utah Jazz.
Ball 4, that pitch low.
Corey Seager takes the pitch low, and that's ball 4. He walks. 62 of 93 pitches today for strikes from Chichi Gonzalez. I'd like to see if he can get through 6. And he will get a chance to face Mookie Betts. 0 for 2 today, strikeout and a line out. But in summary, Spector writes, MLB is grappling with similar issues. Will we be able to avoid the same kind of nonsense here that half a dozen people in the game testing positive for coronavirus is actually a good sign? Or will baseball do what they're doing in England, ignore every warning of impending disaster, and barrel forward with an ill-conceived idea to salvage some money from its TV partners, putting countless more lives at risk? Sadly, given what we're seeing from leading baseball media voices like Sherman and ESPN's Buster Olney, we already know the answer. And that's just the words of Jesse Spector writing for Deadspin about this whole situation. Coming up in the 7th inning, we'll talk more about what Joel Sherman's article from the New York Post said. We'll get his take on the issue, not just hear what people have said about why his take is wrong. Or not necessarily his take, but the memo he received that was leaked to him that he then leaked to all of us. The line drive towards left field, that's going to drop for a base hit off the bat of Betts. And a couple runners aboard now for the Dodgers here in the 6th.
Now batter, the right fielder, Cody Bellinger.
And Bud Black is going to make a pitching change. Would have been nice to see Chichi Gonzalez able to make it through 6 strong here, but it is time to end his day. Not a bad pitching performance for Chichi Gonzalez today. At least he lasted longer than Clayton Kershaw. And new pitcher will be James Pazos. 30th game, 31 in the 3rd innings pitched, 4.88 ERA, 29 strikeouts, 11 walks. He hasn't walked very many batters in quite a while. That was a struggle for him early on this season. You can see still quite a few hits, though. Lefties are hitting 322, righties hitting 282. Some reverse splits there, but no matter what, batters are getting some hits, and he's going to face Cody Bellinger. Lefty-on-lefty matchup, but a tough one regardless of what hand you throw with. Cody Bellinger has drawn a couple walks and scored a run today, so that has gotten his on-base percentage up to .333, slugging .516, so the power numbers have been there for Cody Bellinger, if not the batting average. 0-1 from Pazos is swung on and fouled. Quickly 0-2 now on Bellinger. Giving Pazos credit for going right after Bellinger here. He had walked 2 times in his first 2 plate appearances of this game. One more time in 0-2 is swung on and chopped foul. Pazos looks towards second base, delivers, and that's just a bit inside, ball one. You never quite know what you're going to get with this strike zone today. It's been a little bit all over the place. It's a pitch inside. This game has lasted a little while now. We're up over an hour and only in the top of the sixth. Hopefully we won't see Pedro Baez come in. That'll ensure we'll go over 2 or maybe 3 hours. There's a pitch down and in. Max Muncy is waiting on deck. As from 0-2, it's now 3-2 full count, and Cody Bellinger has already walked twice today. Payoff pitch from Pazos is swung on and chopped foul, 95-mile-an-hour fastball. And outside ball before he walked him. Bases are going to be loaded with 1 out now for the Dodgers, and the tying run is going to come to the plate. Max Muncy will take the form of the tying run. Jake McGee and Tim Collins both warming up in the bullpen for the Rockies. Muncy's 0 for 1 was hit by a pitch in the 4th inning. .320 with 10 homers and 27 driven in on the year. Another lefty-on-lefty matchup for James Pazos. Remember, he has to hit the 3-batter minimum or pitch to the end of an inning. That's the new rule this year. First pitch is going to miss low. 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Good velocity, but a bit of a struggle with command to start things off here for James Pazos in quite a precarious situation. That's called a ball, and it's 2-0 now. We knew it probably would not be easy facing the Dodgers here at Coors Field. Rockies have been fairly comfortable with their 5-1 lead today. Ground ball hit to first base. McMahon goes to second for one, back to first, and double play. And that is going to get the Rockies out of this inning without allowing a run. Max Muncy rounds into the double play induced by James Pazos, and we go to the bottom of the 6th. It remains 5-1 Rockies. Jimmy Nelson out for a second inning of work. Ian Desmond will be the first batter he faces. Desmond 0 for 2 strikeout and a ground out today against Clayton Kershaw. It's to face a righty here. And there's a strike on the inside corner. Desmond 1 for 7 in his career against Jimmy Nelson. Seen him with the Brewers. Swinging a ground ball, base hit into left field. Leadoff single for Ian Desmond here in the bottom of the 6th. Rockies can never use too many runs. And Elias Diaz will be the batter. And the first pitch is in there for a called strike. Diaz against Kershaw today, 0 for 2 strikeout and a ground out, 294, 333 on base percentage, and a 745 OPS for the Rockies platoon catcher, who bats against lefties. Also is batting gets the start when Kyle Freeland is on the mound. Quickly 0-2 on Diaz here. Diaz not one to draw many walks, but good bat-to-ball skills generally for him. 0-2 pitch is going to miss outside. Strike 3 called on the inside corner. That's the second time today that Diaz has been called out on a strike on the inside part of the inside corner. Garrett Hampson, double and 2 runs scored today also, has drawn a walk. It's a very good day against Clayton Kershaw for Garrett Hampson. Trevor Story getting the day off today. Hampson spelling him at short. Daniel Murphy the day off as well. So pitch just a bit inside to Hampson. Hampson evidently sees Clayton Kershaw well. Has good numbers in his career against him, and a hit, a double, and a walk today. The 1-0 is low and away 2-0. Swing and a miss. 2-1 the count.
Right.
Swing and a miss, and now the count evens at 2. Nelson comes set. Looks over his shoulder. 2-2 pitch. Foul out of play. We'll do it again. High and away, full count. Garrett Hampson really working together some good plate appearances. Pitcher spot waiting on deck. I would assume we'll see a pinch hitter. Definitely not expecting any James Pazos plate appearances in this game. It's inside, ball 4. He walked him. A couple of Rockies on with 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. We'll see who takes the next plate appearance.
The pitcher, number 47, James Pazos. Your attention, please.
It's going to be Daniel Murphy. 262 on the year, 3 homers, 17 driven in, 316 on base percentage for him. First pitch is high ball 1. That one's low, 2-0. Nelson starting to struggle a little bit with command here in the 6th. Check swing, and that's a strike. 2-1 the count. Nelson comes set, looks over towards second. His pitch is swung on and chopped foul. Count evens at 2. Two-two pitch. Swung on and foul the other way. We'll do it again. It's going to miss low, full count. David Dahl is waiting on deck, and if Murphy were to reach, it would be a bases loaded situation with 1 out for the Rocky center fielder. Swung on and grounded towards short. Seager goes to second for 1 back to first, and not in time. Hit too softly for them to turn 2. Desmond will be at third base, and Hampson is forced at second. Nice clean takeout slide there by Garrett Hampson. Probably Murphy would have been safe either way. David Dahl will bat. 2 outs and runners on the corners now. He is 0 for 3 on the day. Slash line on the year, 264, 319, 464. First pitch is in there for a strike. Dahl 300 on the year with runners in the scoring position. Certainly have been several opportunities for the Rockies with runners in scoring position today. Swinging a line drive. That's a fair ball towards the corner. Desmond will easily score. Murphy will stop at third. 6-1 Rockies. That's an RBI double for David Dahl, his first hit of the day, and his league-leading 26th double of the year. Extends that league lead. David Dahl, doubles machine. Chris Owings had a good day. 1 for 2, a sac fly RBI, also an RBI double, and a run scored in this game. 271, 353 OBP, 407 slugging for today's Rocky second baseman. Runners on second and third, so a couple runner in scoring position RBI opportunities for Chris Owings here. First pitch is in there for a called strike. 2 outs. So Murphy at third, Dahl at second. 6-1 Rockies here in the bottom of the 6th. Was swinging a line drive towards center field, going over on this one, getting there to make the catch. Is Hernandez, and that'll retire the side. We're through 6 innings. David Dahl makes it 6-1 Rockies with an RBI double, his 26th league-leading double this year.
Your attention, please.
Wade Davis will take over on the hill here in the 7th inning. 29th game of the year, 21 innings, 7.71 is ERA. 19 strikeouts, 6 walks. Righties hitting 370, lefties hitting 342. We'll try to keep this game where it is. Kike Hernandez 1 for 2 base hit in the 2nd inning for him.
Kike Hernandez.
This inning we'll talk about Joel Sherman's article at the New York Post titled MLB Union Salary War Will End If They Clear This Hurdle First.
Watch out.
Pitch high, 2-0 on Hernandez. So Sherman writes, the Players Association delivered its response to MLB's 67-page health and safety manual Thursday, while the league is supposed to provide answers to economic questions raised by the union by Friday, which was a few days ago now.
I got 2-1 to count.
One of these issues is more vital to tackle first and completely because, as the saying goes, you have nothing without your health. Sherman writes, this is not about minimizing the import of the financial element. It is about prioritizing health and safety for a couple of reasons, one of which, most basically, unless local, state, federal, and medical officials, plus MLB and the Players Association, can sign off on the health and safety rules to return amid the coronavirus pandemic, then why even bother fighting about salaries that will not be paid anyway without games? If the sides can reach an agreement on health and safety, it will exert mutual and staggering pressure on both sides to find common ground on the much more contentious issues of play. So payoff pitch coming. And that swung on and fouled out of play. Sherman says failing to get the game back on the field when the supposed hard part is done, authorities and participants concurring that the game will be played safely in a pandemic, due to the inability to reach a financial arrangement becomes the first line of obituary stuff. That one is absolutely demolished to left center field and nearly towards the Nacho stand. That's the first home run of the year for Kike Hernandez off Wade Davis, and there was little doubt about that one. It's going to make it a 6-2 ball game. Take a look on Show Track, 105 mile per hour exit velocity. I would like to see the distance on this one, 25.71 degree launch angle. Hang time just under 6 seconds. Yeah, 475 feet. Moonshot by Kike Hernandez. Only his first home run of the year. Hard to believe.
The catcher.
Austin Barnes, the catcher, bats. First pitch is taken for a strike. Sherman writes that Commissioner Rob Manfred does not want being unable to come to an agreement to be part of his legacy, nor does Union Executive Director Tony Clark. One pitch to Barnes is swung on and cued towards shallow right. That's going to drop fair. And that'll just be a single for the catcher Barnes. Still nobody out.
Now batting, the third baseman, Zach McKinstry.
Ball.
Zach McKinstry takes the pitch low. 0 for 2. He's put the ball on the ground twice for outs today, has the third baseman McKinstry. Made one really nice defensive play and then one really confusing defensive play where he did not throw anywhere, kind of picked up the ball and aided on a bunt that should have been an easy out. Fly ball shallow left. Desmond coming in makes the catch for out number 1.
Now batting, the pitcher, Jimmy Nelson. Your attention, please. Pinch hitting for the Dodgers.
Justin Turner is going to pinch hit. 281 on the year, 10 homers, 29 driven in, a 340 on base percentage. Pitcher's spot is coming up. Sherman writes, if we do get to the point of medical and safety kumbaya, then this is what he heard was the opinion of an executive with extensive history with both MLB and the union. Turner lines one into left field, a base hit. This executive said, simplify it. If the pandemic allows us to play, we will play. Translation, if the sides settle the unprecedented, which is playing with no previous roadmap on how to deal with a pandemic, then something they have done before, namely make a financial deal, will happen. If you look at it through that prism, then we're in a familiar negotiating place. Both sides have stated entrenched positions and rhetoric followed by hard negotiations and a deal in the 11th hour. What is the 11th hour? Sherman says that he thinks the sides would have to be in agreement by June 1st to begin spring training 2.0 by June 15 and the season July 1. The union asked for a bunch of financial information to see why MLB says it has to pay players less than the prorated portion of their 2020 salary based on games played, as the sides' March 26th agreement states. MLB claims that March 26th deal says that a new negotiation must be undertaken if games are played without fans, and there will be no paying spectators to begin the season. MLB is unlikely to provide all of the look-behind-the-curtain material the union wants, but Sherman writes, if I were a betting man, when the sides get to the financials, MLB will relent from the floated 50-50 revenue sharing plan for this year because of belief the union will forever equate revenue sharing with salary caps, and that is a no-go. Sherman says, I would suspect MLB will try to create the same financial results with written vows of no salary cap in the future and promises of bigger outlays in 2020 if there is a full postseason, since that is the big moneymaker for teams. We saw the NHL is going to have a 24-game playoff, a 24-team playoff. Not sure if Major League Baseball will go quite to 24, but they're hard-pressed, and I don't think there's any real disagreement from the union or players on this. They want to expand the playoffs this year. There's a pitch high for Wade Davis to Gavin Lux. Bases are loaded now with one out, and the tying run will come to the plate for the Dodgers as Wade Davis has worked into a little bit of trouble here in the 7th. See Bud Black looking on, a little bit disconcerted with what has happened so far. We're going to have a pitching change. Tim Collins will come in. 14th game of the year, 1-0 is his record. 3.38 ERA, 10 2/3 innings pitched, 11 strikeouts, 6 walks. Lefty's hitting .318 against Collins, and righty's hitting .105, so a bit of a reverse split situation for him. Sherman writes, I would suspect MLB will try to create the same financial results with written vows of no salary cap in the future and promises of bigger outlays in 2020. It's a line drive towards the gap in left center field. Oh, diving and not able to make the catch is Desmond. One run will score, make it a 6-3 ball game. And everyone moves up 90 feet. That's going to be an RBI single for Corey Seager. And Mookie Betts will be the batter. Carlos Estevez and Jake McGee, righty and lefty, are up in the bullpen for the Rockies. First pitch to Betts is swung on and lined towards the left field corner. That's a fair ball. One run's going to score, 2 runs are going to score. And it is a 1-run ball game, 6-5 Rockies. These runs being charged to Wade Davis, 11th double of the year for Mookie Betts. And the tying run is on third base with one out. They're going to intentionally walk Cody Bellinger and set up a force at any base. A potential double play possibility.
Now batting, the first baseman,
Max Muncy will be the batter. He was 0 for 2. Also, he had a big ground into a double play in a situation a little bit similar to this one earlier in this ballgame. Also has been hit by a pitch. And lefty-on-lefty matchup again. Lefties have hit Collins a little bit harder this year than righties. Pitch outside, ball 1. This is becoming a precarious situation for the Rockies now. And you knew it probably would not be long before the Dodgers offense would wake up a little bit. There's a strike. That's a check swing, and that is a strike. 1-2 the count. We'll set the situation for you. Cody Bellinger's on first, Mookie Betts on second, Corey Seager's on third. Max Muncy is batting with the bases loaded and one out. It is 6-5 Rockies. was 6-2. Wade Davis struggling to start this inning. Tim Collins struggling after. Pitched low. Count evens at 2. And there's a swing and a ground ball. That's a fair ball. No, foul. Excuse me. Wow, that was very close. A little bit of a late signal by the third base umpire. There's a swing and a miss, and he got him on strikes. Huge strikeout for Tim Collins with a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. And there are 2 away now.
Up next for the Dodgers, the center fielder, Kike Hernandez. Ladies and gentlemen,
And we'll have another pitching change. Carlos Estevez comes in. It's his 31st game of the year. 4.82 ERA, 37 strikeouts, 6 walks, 28 innings. You wonder why the strikeout to walk ratio looks so good, but the ERA is so high for Estevez. He's just been giving up a lot of solo home runs lately, and those have hurt him a little bit. And that's really, it's been some inopportune times, to be quite frank with you, especially coming in as your 8th inning setup man. Typically, you don't, if you're coming in a 1-run ball game, don't want to be giving up those solo shots. Normally, solo shots, especially if you're a starting pitcher, aren't that hard to deal with. But in the situations Estevez has come into, they've hurt him quite a bit. Otherwise, strikeouts, he's been racking them up just like he normally does for Wild Thing. Kike Hernandez takes a pitch outside. He led off this inning with a big fly against Wade Davis. Hernandez only batting 182 on the year. 475 feet off the bat of Hernandez. Rockies clinging to a 6-5 lead now. The bullpen has struggled to get things done for the Rockies. There's a swing and a line drive towards center field. Going back on this one, making the catch is Dahl, and that will retire the side. Holy smokes, what an inning. Rockies remain clinging to that 6-5 lead. They'll try for some insurance in the bottom of the 7th. Now it's the stretch, and Corey Schembri will sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" for us.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back, 'cause it's root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back, 'cause it's root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
Pedro Baez is in to make this an even longer ball game. 22 2/3 innings, 22 strikeouts, 11 walks. Not a whole lot of hits against him. 4.37 is ERA. Seems like the walks have come around to hurt him a little bit. 22nd game of the year for him. He'll face the heart of the Rockies order: Charlie Blackmon, Nolan Arenado, and Ryan McMahon. Blackmon 0-for-2, drew a walk back in the 5th inning, 299 overall on the year. 6-5 Rockies clinging to that lead after 3 runs come across the plate for the Dodgers in the top of the 7th. Wade Davis and Tim Collins giving up some runs. There's a pitch, low, ball 1. Blake Treinen, the righty, is warming up in the Dodgers bullpen. Just want to finish that story we started talking about in the top of the 7th inning, but we broke away from it to bring you some of the more exciting action. Just the end of that story from Joel Sherman about what's going on here and what he thinks should happen between Major League Baseball and the Union to make sure baseball does resume. Pitch high, 2-0 on Blackmon. Sherman says, but that is about splitting the financial pie, which is difficult. Historically, the sides eventually get there, albeit one time. If you want to see the worst outcome here, a World Series was lost first. I don't think the sides are Thelma and Louise and we drive off the cliff together and keep baseball off the field for a year and a half until 2021, producing greater disaster for themselves and the institution. That is why the health and safety has to be settled. If they can do that together, they really should, and I think would, feel like any other obstacle can be overcome. So that's the end of that story from Sherman. Hitters count in Blackman. The pitch is swung on and missed for strike 2.
2-2 the count.
Up over the hour and a half mark on this game now. Bottom of the 7th inning. There's a swing and a ground ball foul. Knew we were probably in for a wild one with Rockies and Dodgers at Coors Field, though it's gone in the Rockies' favor so far, and Clayton Kershaw not able to make it through 5 innings today. There's a pitch outside, full count now. Nolan Arenado is waiting on deck. He's had a good day, including a home run off Kershaw. Pedro Baez, very methodical worker to say the least. Shakes off, gets the sign he likes into his motion. There is a pitch clock in the game nowadays, so you have to throw that baseball. Can't just step off and on and off all the time. Charlie Blackman takes strike 3. There's one away.
Now batting, the third baseman, Nolan Arenado.
Nolan Arenado will be the batter. Rockies could certainly use some tacos today and could use some insurance. Ross Stripling and Blake Trinan both up in the Dodgers bullpen. First pitch to Arenado from Baez is taken outside, ball 1.
Outside.
Home run, single, 2 runs batted in on the day for Nolan Arenado. 1025 OPS on his 2020 season. Very good year for Nolan Arenado, as most of them we have found out tend to be. The 1-0. Swinging a ground ball up the middle into center field, a base hit. Third hit of the day for Nolan Arenado. And Ryan McMahon will come to the plate with a runner on and 1 out. McMahon, also a good day for him. Let's take a look back at what he did in the 2nd inning. Got the Rockies on the board with a big fly off of his bat against Clayton Kershaw up into the 3rd deck. And I guarantee you Clayton Kershaw has not seen many balls travel that far when he has been pitching. First pitch from Baez is taken high and away. Baez good velocity, frequently in the upper 90s with his fastball. The 1-0 to McMahon is just a bit inside, 2-0. A bit inconsistent and not sure exactly what we're going to get from the home plate umpire today. That's in there for a called strike, 2-1. And swinging a foul back and over the screen. Count evens at 2. It's inside, full count now.
2 strikes.
Ian Desmond waiting on deck. Payoff pitch is going to miss outside. Ball 4, he walked him. Couple Rockies aboard now here in the bottom of the 7th for Ian Desmond with 1 out.
Now batting, left fielder, Ian.
Desmond 1 for 3 singled and scored. That was against the righty Jimmy Nelson his last time up. Didn't get a hit today against Clayton Kershaw. Ground out and a strikeout against him. First pitch from Baez to Desmond is taken low.
Ball 1, no strikes.
Arenado on second base. McMahon on first base. After a single and a walk combination. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike. Certainly would not hurt to get some additional runs to cross the plate for the Rockies. As we've seen, the bullpen has been faltering a little bit. Clinging to a 6-5 lead right now are the Rockies. Here in the bottom of the 7th. 1-1 from Baez is in there for a called strike. Swinging a line drive, pulled foul. 98-mile-an-hour fastball that time from Baez, and Desmond was reading it well. Looks towards second base. That's where Arenado is, and delivers a 1-2. Swung on and lined right into the glove of the first baseman, Muncy. He will tag the runner, McMahon, and that is a double play. We go to the 8th. 6-5 Rockies. 7, 8, 9 hitters due up for LA. Tyler Kinley, the closer, warming up for the 9th inning. And Jake McGee also warming up in the Rockies bullpen. Carlos Estevez out for another inning of work. Austin Barnes has a RBI sac fly, also a hit in this game. First pitch from Estevez here is taken outside. We mentioned those solo shots have been a little bit hard for Estevez to contain this year. And this would be a situation where a solo shot really needs to be prevented. 6-5 Rockies here in the 8th inning. 1-0 pitch is swung on and lined towards right center field. That's over the head of Owings. It's going to drop in front of Blackman for a leadoff single here in the top of the 8th. And tying run on base now for the Dodgers. Go-ahead run steps to the plate. Zach McKinstry will be the batter. Justin Turner was already used in a pinch hit appearance. Got a base hit back in the 7th. Off of Wade Davis. First pitch to McKinstry is taken low, ball 1. McKinstry 0 for 3, 2 groundouts and a flyout today. 1 for 8 to start his big league career. First pitch from Estevez, next pitch I should say, is taken on the outside corner for a called strike. One from Estevez is outside. Hitters count now on the third baseman, Zach McKinstry. 98-mile-an-hour fastball misses from Estevez. Bud Black looking on. It disconcertingly doesn't want his bullpen to prevent this game from going to the Rockies here in Game 1 of a 4-game set at Coors Field. That's high in the pitcher's spot is waiting on deck. We will almost assuredly, I'm not a betting man, like Joel Sherman said he was in his article we told you about, but I would bet that we will see a pinch hitter for Pedro Baez. Swing and a miss, and the count goes full. Will Smith, the catcher for the Dodgers today, not getting the start. You saw on that ticker that went by, he is 5th place in walks in the National League, but Austin Barnes getting the start today. Payoff pitch coming from Estevez to McKinstry, and it's swung on and chopped weakly back to the mound. Estevez, nope, it's going to be Diaz to throw to first, but not in time. McKinstry beats it out. That'll be an infield single, and 2 runners aboard now for the Dodgers. We're talking about the tying run at second base with nobody out, and the go-ahead run on first base with nobody out. And pinch hitter will be Chris Taylor. 271, 5 homers, 12 driven in, a .339 on base percentage for the utility player for the Dodgers. First pitch from Estevez here is swung on and pulled foul. The 0-1. Swung on and ripped towards left field. Coming over on this one is Desmond. He'll have to play it on a hop, and the bases are loaded with nobody out. Tying run on third, go-ahead run at second, nobody out after the pinch hit by Chris Taylor. And Rockies only lead this game 6-5. And this is a bit of a rough situation here. Jake McGee is going to come in. 29th game of the season, 1 save and 1 opportunity. This is not a safe situation. It's only the 8th. 25 and 2/3 innings pitched, 19 strikeouts, 14 walks. Those have been climbing. 292 against lefties, 243 against righties, and a 5.61 ERA for Jake McGee. As his numbers have really gone up, they have inflated, especially as the month of May has gone on. Really good month of April for McGee. His first pitch to Gavin Lux is in there for a called strike, and quite a situation to come into if you're Jake McGee. 0 for 3 in this game is Gavin Lux. He did draw a walk just an inning ago. Lux struggling a little bit to start this year. Will be a miracle if the Rockies can get out of this bases-loaded no-out jam without allowing any runs. Swing and a miss, and quickly 0-2 on Lux. 220 on the year with runners in scoring position. Again, we saw those reverse splits for Jake McGee. He'll try to get through Lux to start things off. 0-2 pitch is swung on and popped into shallow center field, and that's going to be caught by the shortstop Hampson. And that is out number one. Huge out number one. Double play now would put an end to this inning, send this game to the bottom of the 8th. Joe Harvey is now joining Tyler Kinley in the bullpen. Corey Seager 1 for 3, RBI single in this one. Bases loaded, 1 out now. First pitch is on the outside corner for a called strike. Seager batting .385 with runners in scoring position on the year. These are some huge high-stress outs for Jake McGee to get. 0-1. That is low. 94-mile-an-hour fastball from McGee. One for McGee. Is swung on and lined right into the glove of the third baseman Nolan Arenado for out number 2. And now Jake McGee and the Rockies an out away from getting out of this jam. Saw a very similar situation just an inning ago. Mookie Betts 2 for 4, double, single, a couple runs batted in on the day. And McGee will try to get this right-handed batter now. First pitch is inside, ball 1. Betts only hitting .185 on the year with runners in scoring position. We mentioned not quite what the Dodgers were hoping for when they traded for him. Also acquired David Price this offseason. Part of the return was Verdugo. That's who I was thinking of. Verdugo, Alex Verdugo, outfielder, part of the return for the Red Sox. Pitch misses 2-0 now on Mookie Betts. McGee got some couple huge outs, the first 2 outs of this inning, but one more big out to get in Mookie Betts. As we know, there's a lot of talent in this bat, even though if it hasn't appeared at every time he's come to the plate for LA, there's a swing and a foul. It's 2-1, that's still a hitter's count for Mookie Betts. McGee comes set, his 2-1. Is swung on and lined into right field, a base hit. 1 run's going to score. They're going to try and get 2 home, and they will. And the Dodgers take a 7-6 lead. McGee got through the first 2 outs, but a 2-run single for Mookie Betts with 2 outs, and it's 7-6 Dodgers. And Cody Bellinger will be the batter. Another lefty-on-lefty matchup for McGee. Looks towards second base. His pitch is in there for a called strike. Bellinger has drawn 4 walks in this game, has also scored 1 run. Rockies have not had any desire to pitch to him today. A 1 is taken high.
1-1.
McGee looks towards second base. His 1-1 delivery is outside, hitter's count now on Cody Bellinger. That one's low, 3-1 now. Bellinger's already drawn 4 walks today, trying for a 5th here. Max Muncy is waiting on deck, hoping to get an opportunity with the bases loaded. Still 2 outs. Bases were loaded with nobody out. McGee got the first 2 outs, but then the 2-run single for Mookie Betts put the Dodgers on top. That misses, and Cody Bellinger draws a walk for the 5th time in this ball game.
Now batting, the first baseman.
And Max Muncy will come to the plate, bases loaded, 2 outs. 0 for 3 on the day as Muncy also grounded into a double play as part of that. Another lefty-on-lefty matchup for McGee, though those reverse splits we mentioned. The hit in this inning against him came from the righty Betts, though. First pitch to Muncy is swung on and foul back. Muncy 1 for 6 in his career against Jake McGee. That's the good news. Very small sample, though. Could quickly turn out to be 2 for 7, and things would look a lot different. That's in there for a called strike, and it's quickly 0-2 on Muncy. The 0-2. That one's taken low, ball 1. And swung on and pulled foul down the right field line. Swung on and chopped foul. We'll do it again. McGee has thrown 20 pitches now in this 8th inning that was started by Carlos Estevez. McGee came into a bases loaded, nobody out situation, got the first 2 outs, but Mookie Betts 2-run single. So a very lengthy inning for the Dodgers in what's been a lengthy ball game. Swing and a miss. He got him on strikes, and that will retire the side. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Rockies have Diaz, Hampson in the pitcher's spot, due up 7-6. Dodgers have taken the lead. Joe Kelly, new pitcher for LA. Only his 5th game this year, 1-0 his record. 3 innings, 4 walks, 2 strikeouts, so that is not good. A very small sample, though, but an ERA of 6. So Kelly's first outings have not been all that good. Kenley Jansen and Ross Stripling warming up in the Dodgers bullpen. Jansen will try to lock down the save. We didn't see him in LA, Kenley Jansen, as the Rockies either were winning both games. They won the first 2 games pretty easily, and then it was kind of a blowout win for the Dodgers in the final game, so no save situation necessary. Joe Kelly's first pitch to Elias Diaz was ball 1. Kelly's 1-0 is taken just a bit high. Joe Kelly, former Boston Red Sox, certainly can bring the heat. That one at 101 miles per hour to Diaz, but has to make sure he commands it, which he has not done so far this year. He's really struggled during his time in LA. There's a swing, a fly ball towards right field, towards the corner. On the run for this one is Bellinger. He's not going to be able to get it. He'll drop foul harmlessly. (2-1) is in there for a called strike. Another 101 delivery from Joe Kelly. The 2-2 is going to miss low and away. Count goes full. Garrett Hampson is waiting on deck. Payoff pitch is swung on and skied towards center field. Going back on this one is Hernandez. He's got it in range on the track, and that is a long out, number 1. Diaz gave it a ride, just allowed out, and that will bring up Garrett Hampson. Hampson had a very good day against Clayton Kershaw, walk and a double. He scored a couple runs in this ball game, actually a couple walks today, so he's got his on-base percentage up to .324. Still batting under the Mendoza line. Batting average, not the most important statistic out there we have found. Bunt is popped up, and that's going to luckily not be able to be caught as it goes over the head of the catcher Barnes for strike one. Trying to catch the Dodgers napping. Don't think we'll see that again from Hampson, the bunt. That pitch misses outside, ball one. 1-1 from Kelly is swung on and fouled out of play. Frequently around 101 today we've seen that fastball from Joe Kelly. Kelly kicks and fires his 1-2, and it's swung on and chopped foul. We'll do it again. That one's taken in the dirt, and the count evens at 2. Strike 3 called, got him on strikes, and that is out number 2. One game we didn't mention earlier that's going to be starting a little later on is Angels and Cleveland later this evening. Ryan Borucki and Griffin Canning. Trevor Story got the day off so far, but he will pinch hit in a pretty big situation here in the bottom of the 8th. Pitcher's spot was due up. He will bat against Joe Kelly. First pitch is in there for a called strike with a breaking ball. Rockies were leading this game as long as Clayton Kershaw was in it, but no longer. 7-6 Dodgers. 0-1 to Story is taken outside. Kershaw not able to make it through 5 innings today. One pitch. That one is a strike at the knees, 1-2. One-two pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him on strikes, and that'll retire the side. We go to the 9th. 7-6 Dodgers have the lead. Good inning for Joe Kelly.
Your attention, please. Now pitching for the Rockies.
Tyler Kinley, Rockies closer, not a save situation for him, but he will come in and pitch the top of the 9th inning as Rockies are really looking to try to hold LA off the board and get a chance in the bottom of the 9th. 7-6 Dodgers, Kike Hernandez, good day, 2 for 4, home run and a single. That was his first home run of the year off Wade Davis. Tyler Kinley, very good year for him, has not blown a save. Again, not a save situation. First pitch is taken in the dirt. A couple days ago now, Steve Adams at MLB Trade Rumors came through with an article talking about the latest things that teams are doing as they prepare for a potential second spring training, as long as the league and the union can work things out. So pop-up foul territory. Over is McMahon. He'll get there on the track to make the catch for out number 1. The Mets are going to be holding their version of Spring Training 2.0 at their spring facility in Port St. Lucie, Florida. They will not be doing it at Citi Field in New York. New York City right now is the epicenter in the U.S. for the coronavirus. And beyond the pure health aspect of the decision, staging their training camp in Florida gives the Mets access to multiple fields. Mets completed a $57 million renovation project at Cloverfield back in February, which has improved the overall quality of the facilities and equipment available to Mets players, several of whom are already in Florida, by the way. It's a foul out of play. The Phillies are likely to remain in Philadelphia for the second wave of spring training. The Phillies Urban Youth Academy across the street from Citizens Bank Park has 2 full-size fields that could be made available, and the Phillies have ownership stake in their nearby AAA and AA affiliates, which could allow both of those parks to be used as well, the Fightin' Phils, and both affiliates are fewer than 70 miles away from Citizens Bank Park, so that certainly helps. Diamondbacks have opened Chase Field for individual workouts. Unlike other clubs, the D-backs have the luxury of their home field and spring training facility being a mere 20 miles apart. In addition to Chase Field opening up, some players are also reporting to the Salt River Field Spring facility in preparation for a second spring training. You know, the Rockies and Diamondbacks share Salt River Fields at Talking Stick, that facility. No word on if the Rockies are going over there. Austin Barnes, the batter. It's a 2-2 count now. Tyler Kinley pitching. And that swung on and pulled foul and out of play. Tyler Kinley, a perfect 7 for 7 in save opportunities this year. Will not get one of those today. He'll just be hoping for a win if the Rockies can get a walk-off in the bottom of the ninth. At least tie up the ball game. 7-6 Dodgers after their rally in the 7th and 8th. There's a pop-up. Coming in hard for this one is the center fielder Dahl. He'll get there to make the catch, and that is out number 2.
The batter, the third baseman,
Zach McKinstry, third baseman, will bat. He is 1 for 4 singled and scored earlier in this one. I believe that is his second major league hit. First pitch from Kinley is swung on and missed. That was an 88 mile per hour slider by him. McKinstry was on the midseason All-Star team at AAA last year. At AA for Tulsa. And hit .279 with 12 homers in 95 games, then got promoted to AAA, played 26 games, batted .382, and he was added to the 40-man roster after the 2019 season, so there was no necessary move to select him that was needed to be made. For the infielder, 25 years old, March 29th was his 25th birthday for Zachary McKinstry out of Toledo, Ohio. Graduated from Northside High School in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Takes a pitch in the dirt. He was a 3-time All-Conference selection. Hit .595 as a junior, selected to the All-Area team, and was rated as the 8th best prospect from the state of Indiana. Played college baseball for the Central Michigan University Chippewas. And he swings and misses, and Kinley works a very good ninth inning, and we go to the bottom of the ninth. It'll be the top of the order to do it for the Rockies, trying to at least tie the game. Dahl, Owings, Blackman. It is 7-6 Dodgers. Double switch for manager Dave Roberts. We'll see who are the 2 new additions to the Dodgers on-field performance right now. Kenley Jansen, his 12th game of the year. He has 7 saves and 8 opportunities, 10 2/3 innings, 11 strikeouts, 4 walks. Not a whole lot of games for him. Will Smith is going to come in at catcher, and it's double switch in case this game goes to extra innings. David Dahl leads things off against Kenley Jansen. First pitch is taken for a strike at the knees. Dahl 1 for 7 in his career against Jansen. That one hit was a home run. You remember when he tied up the ball game in L.A. in his rookie year. Swing and a miss quickly, 0-2 on Dahl. O2 pitch is swung on and fouled out of play. Dahl stays alive. Game now at the 2-hour mark. It's been a marathon of a game for the Dodgers and Rockies. Cue shot hit up the middle. Third baseman McKinstry over there, throws to first and got him. Nice play by McKinstry for out number 1. And Chris Owings will be the batter. Sam Hilliard and Tony Wolters still on the bench for the Rockies. Trevor Story and Daniel Murphy both utilized as pinch hitters. Owings 1 for 3 as a double, also a sac fly, a couple runs batted in on his day. First pitch is taken for a strike. Owings 2 for 11 in his career against Jansen. Faced him with the Diamondbacks. Wind up in the 0-1 is swung on and chopped foul. Quickly 0-2 on Owings. Charlie Blackmon waiting on deck. Rockies had the lead for the first 6 innings of this ball game, but the bullpen was not able to hold on. There's a swing and a line drive right to the second baseman, Lux, and the Rockies are down to their final out now.
The right fielder, number 19.
Charlie Blackmon will be the batter. Last hope for the Rockies. 0 for 3, struck out back in the 5th. 936 OPS on the year for the Rockies right fielder, 297 average, and 367 on base percentage. Kenley Jansen into his motion. His first pitch to Blackmon is swung on and missed. Blackmon is 2 for 12 in his career against Jansen. Not a whole lot of batters across the game of baseball have very good numbers against him. Might not hold the title of best closer in the game anymore. Certainly did hold it for a while there. His 0-1 to Blackmon is swung on and foul back. Rockies down to their final strike. Jansen shakes off, gets the sign he likes into his motion. Wind up and the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, he got him on strikes, and that is the ball game. Rockies lose game 1 after the bullpen cannot hold the lead. Rockies did get to Clayton Kershaw today, scored 5 runs off of him, and he was not able to make it through 5. Home runs for Nolan Arenado and Ryan McMahon against Kershaw, among the other offensive highlights for the Rockies. But the Dodgers will take game 1 of this 4-game set, and we will see you for our next broadcast. It's going to be Friday in San Francisco against the Giants at 8:15 p.m. Mountain Time. Looks like German Marquez is going to be in line to return from the minors and to make that start. Rough loss for the Rockies today. Kenley Jansen picking up his 8th save of the year. 7 runs on 11 hits for the Dodgers, 6 runs on 8 hits for the Rockies, and 6 runs coming for the Dodgers in the 7th and 8th inning of this ball game. Pedro Baez gets the win. He moves up to 2-3 on the year. He went 1 inning, 1 hit, 1 strikeout, 1 walk. Carlos Estevez gets the loss, a third of an inning, 3 hits, 2 runs. Kenley Jansen, a strikeout in his inning of work. Mookie Betts gets player of the game honors. He goes 3 for 5 with a double and 4 runs batted in. Kike Hernandez 2 for 5 with his first home run of the year. Austin Barnes, catcher, goes 2 for 4 with a run batted in and 2 runs scored. Corey Steger 1 for 4 with an RBI. Highlights on offense, and there were some for the Rockies. Nolan Arenado went 3 for 4 with a home run, 2 runs batted in. Ryan McMahon 1 for 3 with a solo homer off Clayton Kershaw. Chris Owings 1 for 4, double, sac fly, 2 runs batted in and a run scored. And Garrett Hampson 1 for 2 with a double, 2 runs scored and a couple walks. Well, thank you for tuning in. This has been Ben Kuchner-Kavich. We will see you Friday. Have a good Memorial Day.